did, you did. What you doing, honey? Oh. Who's Vince? I don't know.
Moose.
Sorry, buddy.
I will have to go for 5 or 10 minutes in Q1 or Q2.
That's alright, you do you.
Um,
If you want to get Bozza in here to help me during that 5 or 10, that's fine. But I'm happy to do whatever.
I'll call him right now.
No, I don't want toast. How's that even going to work, Deezy? Like you're going to be stuck on one car. Oh, I don't get this anymore, man. Far out, we got 4 minutes. What are you doing, Deezy? Alright, mate. Thanks, buddy. Sounds good. Speak to you then. Yeah? Like someone stealing your shit in the garage? Or is the guy actually back from Ukraine? Maybe he got out. Is that you, Denise?
It is me sitting down.
Lovely. Hey, I just figured, like,
yeah,
you're gonna be on a whole, like one car for the whole time you're away. How's that gonna logistically work?
They just have to suck it up, basically.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've just got old mate coming over to my house to pick up some of my old sim racing gear, and he couldn't come. I was at work, and he basically had to come today. So,
yeah. Is that the intro starting up now?
Yeah, the intro's starting up.
Alright.
Hopefully, he comes at like the end of the session, or like right at the start of Q1 where it's not really interesting, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, I could basically just tell him to fucking stand there and shut up and watch.
Yeah.
Watch the show, mate. Watch the production. Behind the scenes.
Yeah, something like that.
Boss is He'll be back in like 5 minutes, so he's just going to join when he can.
Alright.
Oh, fuck, he's here now.
It's time to Meryl Streep this fucking shit.
Hey, mate.
I think I'm just got it.
Yeah, easy, man. I'll come out in a second. I'm just starting the tier 2 stream, so I'm going to... I'll just bring it in. So just give me a couple minutes.
It's all good, mate.
Just wait in your car for a couple minutes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Oceania Series Racing League Tier 2 Division. We are here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It is round 13 of Season 3. I am Sandezy, and joining me tonight, as always, is, well, it's Red Bull Moose. It's a very sick Red Bull Moose. How are you, mate?
Ah, mate, I'm right as rain. Let's do this. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, let's do it.
The power of the comms will make you feel better, mate, trust me.
Yeah, sure.
That's what the doctor ordered. That's the medicine he's prescribed, and we're going to have a banging 25 laps here at the Jenna Corniche circuit, with a good range of the drivers. Well, 19 of the full-time drivers this evening. We've only got one reserve, being your cult hero Apache Frank's back for a reserve tonight.
The cult hero, I think you'll find.
The cult hero, the Ulster cult hero.
So that's. We'll just, I'll run you guys through the grid if you want to go and do that thing.
Yeah.
So in the Mercedes AMG Petronas, we have Dino 420 fam, and he will be alongside not Valtteri Bottas. I'll find out who that is momentarily. In the Red Bulls, we have Broken Reptile and Flourish Expire. At McLaren, we have Prezzo F1 and Ted Sandals. At Aston Martin there, we have Gurkonimo and M Stone. At Alpine, it is Prince OK and Roscoe Arm. A Ferrari consisting of 2.5 and Scotty. At Alpha Tauri, we have Sando and Maniac. At Alfa Romeo, it is Buster T16 and Jury Strat. At the Haas team, it is the cult hero of Apache Franks, and he'll be joined alongside Jackie Prez. And at Williams, we have Nick Man, and he'll be joined by Jacko. So while Daisy has just stepped away for just 1 second, we are just awaiting that final Mercedes driver, and it is Nat Hammer that we are waiting on. So just a little joke for the people at home: if they've got the Discord channel, in the general chat, someone had Nat Hammer at $1 to join the lobby right on race time, and well, that time has elapsed. So we will jump over to the driver's standings. I'm just going to have to bring it up here on my graphic, and bear with me just momentarily, as it has been brought up on the stream. Thank you. It is Scotty and M Stone level pegging on 254 points. You got Prince OK there back in P3 on 234 points. Nat Hammer in 4th on 199, and Mr. Fury Strat on 192. With a couple of races left, it is anyone's race. It is anyone's championship, sorry, to win. But Scotty blowing that huge lead that he had at one stage in this championship. So we'll wander over to the constructors' standings. And I'm going to have to do this one the old-fashioned way through the Discord. So give me 2 seconds at home. And the combined constructors standings. It does see Sandeezy's Alpine boys out on front still on 1,344 points. A very impressive haul over the last couple of weeks for them. And for second place, it is very, very, very close indeed. It is McLaren, Ferrari, and Alpha Tauri, all separated by only 9 points. You've got the McLaren team there on 1,119. the Ferrari boys there on 1117, and the AlphaTauri boys rounding that out at 1110. So well and truly up to play for in the constructors' standings. As we are just awaiting that hammer for this one to get underway. And I, for one, am absolutely ecstatic about this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. As I have been joined by Bozza. And Bozman, how are you, fella?
I'm good, thank you. How are yourself? Good to be here again.
That's good, mate. Don't want to throw you in the deep end, but what can you tell us about this Jeddah circuit?
27 corners, 27 high-speed, fast-paced corners. Sector 1 is probably the heart of where your time is at. So, yeah, very fast technical section through there, and then the rest is pretty flowing. And definitely got to get close to the curbs in sectors 2 and 3 as well.
It certainly is, mate. I did do a numerous amount of laps through here yesterday, hoping to get onto the track and race last night. Not the case for me, but probably not the end of the world, because I couldn't hook up a lap to save myself.
No, you definitely don't sound the greatest, but you're soldiering on, and it's great to have you here in the box once again, fighting what is going on inside you. But yeah, you get one sector right and you think I'm on for a good lap here, and then you get around to some of the other places where you have to get close to the walls, and it can spit you out as easily as it takes you in.
It certainly can, mate, and I don't know what you're on about. I'm feeling great. Hammer has joined us, mate, and I dare say that we're going to get this party rolling at any moment now.
Hopefully that's the case.
See drivers starting to ready up.
Beautiful. That's what we love to find out.
Good evening to everyone in the chat. I haven't seen too many names in there just yet, but I have no doubt that there's all the usual suspects in there. So good evening to everyone. This is the Oceania Series Racing League. This is Tier 2 action tonight, coming to you from the Kingdom of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Very well known for its oil exports, mate.
Yes, I might also state it is a low grip circuit as well. And I believe the C4, C3 and C2 compounds.
Oh, mate, you'll be glad I had you'll be glad I had a mute button just then.
Oh dear. Had a coughing fit?
Yeah, sure did.
Oh dear, that's nasty, that's nasty.
That's nasty.
Should be going green soon. Not entirely sure where we're at, as I did get a call from Sandesi himself about 5 minutes ago.
No, he's selling something to someone, so he'll be back in a minute.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Little Sando won't have the G29 to play with anymore, I don't think.
No, won't have anything to go back on if the Fanatec decides to play funny business.
Well, mate, it is looking rather threatening here. It rains in Saudi Arabia 18 days of the year.
Wow.
And it looks like we might have one.
Yeah, potentially. Potentially so. Yes. Let's start unless we can't see anything.
Alrighty, boys!
This bloke. Sorry, not 18, 44.
Well, the timing I've nailed.
You have nailed it.
That's worked. Nut Hammer being late's worked brilliantly.
Did you wear protection?
Oh. I've got to stack 100s here, mate, as a payment for the services.
Boys, in the chat, we've got rain.
No, we're at Jeddah. We're in the middle of the desert.
We are in the middle of the desert. I was just saying to Bozza and our viewers at home that, mate, it only rains 44 days a year here. I actually googled it because I said 18, but...
You did.
44 days of the year it rains, and that's it. And it appears we're going to have some.
That's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Love that.
Well, when is this rain coming? Is it a qualifying rain? Is it a...
Oh, you lying.
Don't know that yet.
We would love some distinction in the chat.
Some clarification.
I think he's telling pork pies, lads.
He's lying. It is El Jacko after all, so.
And Down Under Racing League, Down Under Racing Series in the chat. It doesn't rain in Jeddah. Don't tease.
Oh, Dirty Orange. How high? I assume it's Dirty Orange on that account. How are you, my friend?
Would be.
Well, Moosey, do you want to take us through a lap with Prezzo? Would you like me to do it?
You can do it, because I absolutely have no idea about this this circuit.
No.
I've driven
No worries.
14 laps of it and did nothing.
Well, here we go.
To it.
Perfect. On board with Prezzo. Down into the first corner, about 100 metres, cut this apex nicely, buddy. You want to cut that second one, which he hasn't quite done, and it's third gear through there, fourth on the exit. So just a little bit slow through there, one gear too low, not quite cutting there, but he's cut that nicely up through turn 5. As we come around the long sweeping corners of Sector 1, where it's all about line and throttle control. That looks pretty good for a Q1 lap here from Prezzo. He's kept it valid very nicely, which is a big critical factor when driving around this Jeddah circuit. Into turn 13 now, the banked long left-hander at the top end of the circuit. Try and carry as much speed. Don't run too wide and hit the wall on the exit. He has done that. Then just line of least resistance and least distance up to the turn 16, 17 chicane. And that's not too bad from Prezzo there. He's just looked like a nice steady lap from the McLaren driver thus far. As we come up through the end of the Sector 2 sweepers. Flat out 8th gear, 300 kilometres an hour. Into turn 22 now, a little bit wide there, just missed the apex a little bit. And that's going to hurt his run down this back straight under the DRS because it is flat all the way until the braking zone for the final corner, turn 27, which is coming up now. Pick your braking point, about 70 metres. You want a late apex here. He's just apexed a little bit early there and had to wait with the throttle. But he comes up towards the line. It's going to be the first lap time of the session, Moosey. And it's a 129.1.
Yeah, it's not a bad lap at all, is it?
Yeah, we're going to see how that stacks up, mate, as the other drivers are going to be doing their laps. We've got El Jacko out coming around turn 27 now. But, I'm probably... what am I going to expect? Probably 27th?
Yeah, okay.
Mid to low 27th? A low 27 pole, I think. I don't think we're going to see a 26. We might do. Depends on the pace of the fellas this evening. But it's a 28-1 there from El Jacko, setting down a real benchmark.
Yeah, you got a couple of the boys coming across the line now. Tent Sandals, one of them, mate. He comes across the line, one of the normal suspects up the top, and he sets a 28.4. So I think that's probably going to be about the pace of these boys, is a very low 28.
Yeah, that's it. We've got Buster T16, who he's had some pace for the top 10 in these races this season. Just he has had the most wretched luck, I think, of any driver in the 4 tiers. If you feel like you're more unlucky than this man, prove your case to me.
Yeah.
I might see it, but from what I can remember, this man has zero luck. He's had lag-outs, he's had unlucky incidents, but he goes third fastest on the 28.7 to get his session started.
It certainly does, yeah. Good lap. And, well, now we wait, mate.
Yeah, and as we saw that lap from Prezzo, mate, and it looked like a nice steady lap, but just not maximising the track limits, just not carrying quite enough speed in these long corners, because there's not many braking zones here, so it's all about maximising your minimum speed in these long, fast corners.
Yeah, it certainly is. I was saying to Boz a little bit earlier, mate, I did a heap of practice here yesterday in the Hope I'd race last night, and I could not for the life of me hook a lap up. So even throughout the course of the race, it's going to be incredibly mentally straining for these drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. As 10 Sandals, mate, goes the first driver into the 27s at 27.999.
Huh.
That is quite satisfying, I must say.
Yeah, it's pretty satisfying.
It's pretty satisfying.
Pretty satisfying.
Picasso, mate, in the Red Bull Flourish Expire, is just starting a lap, and we're right on board with him, see how he is going to navigate this Jeddah Corniche circuit.
Did you just call him Picasso?
Yes.
Oh,
He's run very wide there, and that's quite a no. It's quite known. We've seen drivers do this last night, and well, it might be a little bit of trouble time with the stewards. So, he spun it anyway, and he is out. He is out of this session, mate.
He's copped it. He's copped it the hard way for keeping that lap going.
Well, we don't need to wait for the stewards, mate. The karma has been served.
Yeah.
So we'll flick back to third man in the championship, Prince OK, mate. And I'm sure you touched on the standings, but he's 20 points back. He's on 234 versus 254 for M-Stone and Scotty going into round 13 of 16. So he's got 20 points to find on the other two in the last 4 rounds of the season to be champion.
Yeah, he certainly does. And he's got a little bit of form on his side as well. So I think him and M-Stone have been on the podium in the last 3 or 4 races. Yeah.
Excluding that sprint race in Spain.
What sprint race in Spain?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
But this looks like a pretty good lap. A couple of purple sectors from the Alpine, and he might just get a cheeky little distant toe off that Williams. Oh, sorry, off that Haas. And it's a 27.4, mate.
Wow.
So that's half a second faster than that lap time from 10 Sandals. So that's a cracker.
That's a very, very rapid lap indeed, and he'll be very happy with that. That'll be more than enough to get him through this session.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy Guy, Too Quick, DFL Alpha, and Combat Nick and M. Thank you all for your follows so far this evening as we watch Jackie Prez come up to the timing line, and he goes 4th fastest. Justice Sando, mate, displaces him on a 27.8.
Certainly do. I'm a little bit further back here with 2.5, and he's looking very rapid there through the middle sector. He is definitely on a hot lap here, although he's just backed off.
Oh, he's just backed off, yeah.
Not sure why he would have done that.
Maybe a mistake?
Oh, do you know what? I think he'd pushed the whole lap and then forgotten to turn the ERS on.
Oh, that's a bit of a cock-up.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's a wee little bit. The Colt Hero's on an invalid lap, unfortunately, so I want to give him a bit of love on the stream tonight, but no invalidations, mate. We don't want to be watching that.
Yeah, no, he's no longer a McLaren driver, so he's dead to me.
Good to see you're loyal to the men in orange. M-Stone was on a lap, mate, and we're going to pick him up, but he's actually backed off, mate. So
yeah, I think he might have touched the wall as well there for his troubles, so...
Very easy to do around this circuit as well.
Yeah.
Dino. How about Dino? Man in the Mercedes. As it's indicating a second sector purple. But he's just run a little bit wide through 22, mate. Carried a touch too much speed.
He's in a different country.
Well, it is that second white line around turn 22. So he was close. Just... unfortunately, just stepped over the mark a little bit. Our newest Tier 2 driver, mate, we welcome Nick Man full-time to the grid in the Williams. So his next 4 weeks will be spent here in Tier 2 after he dominated and lived in the minds of all the Tier 3 full-time drivers for the first 12 rounds. They've been kicking, they've been screaming, and they'll be screaming again when they see him P3.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to have a full-time spot in some of the minds of these Tier 2 drivers with lap times like that.
Just wait till we get to the draft. He's just going to bring it up again.
Yeah.
It's all mental. That's what they say. He's got the psychological advantage.
Absolutely. Have we heard any news on the draft?
Well, not yet. No date has been announced. The sign-ups are open, and the evaluation will be announced close to or close after the release of F122 for the allocation of the draft pots and who is eligible for which tiers. But yes, stay tuned in the Discord if you want to find out more.
And Scotty coming across the line now, manages 11th fastest with a 29 flat. And I dare say, mate, if you can get a half-decent lap time on the board here in Q1, you're probably going to make it through.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got one car DNF. That's the only... Well, there's no qualifying bans this evening, so... You've got to beat 5 of them.
Yep.
And what Forrest has made that for is the 2 Mercedes coming towards the line. Dino stays out. Natham appeals to the pit lane, and Dino goes into P5, mate. They're on a 128.0. And well, if you exclude that lap time from Prince and Sando, sorry, I didn't say that Sando had improved, but he had, mate. He's improved to a 0.5. So him and Princey out in front, nice and dandly at the moment, but it's still not that close. You know, it's all the way down to it's a second and a half down to Apache and Girk down there from Nickman.
It certainly is. I'll tell you who's on an absolute flyer as well here, mate. It is Jury. He's on a massively good lap. I've ridden on board since the start of it. And, mate, it is very impressive how he's taken that Sector 1 and 2. And realistically, Sector 3 is only one corner. And he's nailed that. So this will be a very impressive lap here from Jury.
P8.
Yeah,
and we know this man isn't the best qualifier. His race pace is up there with the with those leaders towards the front. He can compete in the race, but he just can't manage to qualify as well as they do, and that really hurts him in terms of starting position.
Faria in the chat saying he's Jury's running 11 and 2 wings. So, yeah, fair enough.
Well, hello, Mr. Time Trial Sweat Fiery Hour 405 in the chat. Since you're all such a sweat at practice, why don't you elate us to the perfect wing combination if you're going to judge someone else's? But hope you're going well.
Pause for drama effect, and he's ghosted us, I think. So
he's gone oi. Oi.
He has gone weak.
Oi, mate. As Prezzo finds 9/10 of a second, mate, in the McLaren, up to P8.
It certainly does. Who else on the lap here?
I think one of the Aston Martins of M. Stone. He is flying around the circuit as Milliganes with the 11th month of the Tier 1 submate, Merc Gang. I don't think either of us are about the Merc Gang in the commentary box, but
no.
Sure, mate, thumbs up.
Well, mate, we
all know I sweat and tear Alpine. I bleed Alpine.
M. Stone with a 28.2. Mate, last week we just about had pizzas and strippers in the box. It was very much a McLaren party in the box last week. As we had the McLarens 1 and 2 and 1 and 3 in the sprint and the feature races effectively. But mate, we had it was all happening last week.
I don't need to talk about that. That didn't go well for me. Broken Reptile, the last driver without a time, crossing the line, and it's no longer a Red Bull 1920. It's a 1320. It has moved up to 13th on a 28.7, mate.
Certainly is.
I think it might be 2.5. It is not 2.5, however, because he has invalidated, mate. So the Ferrari's in a very uncomfortable position with what I can only imagine not much time left in the session, and yeah, 2 minutes on the clock for me.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're fighting heavily in the Constructors' Championship, are the Ferrari boys, alongside McLaren and AlphaTauri. It is all to play for second in the Constructors' Championship at the moment, so they need a big result here.
Yeah, absolutely they do. Just trying to find someone who's actually on a lap, mate.
I think Broken Reptile's on a lap.
I was thinking that, but well, he is improving in Sector 1,
He's improving,
and he's just lost. He's just lost a little bit of that improvement in the second sector. He's still up though, about 2/10. So we'll see what he can do here. A couple of tenths will find him a couple of positions here, but it'll find them positions on Busto and Jackie Prez. But look at M-Stone, he's half a second down the road in P10. Oh, and that's very wide there at the final corner. And yeah, that went. There goes those 2/10 Moosey in the final corner.
Yeah. Very unfortunate there for the lad. I think Scotty might be the furthest man around on a flying lap. Could be corrected.
Could be Prezzo, but no, he's invalidated. So yes, Scotty.
And
he needs to get out of this session.
He certainly does. This is make or break for his championship tonight. He had the massive lead that he had, and he's absolutely blown it.
Yeah, it's been slowly chipped away at by M-Stone and
oh dear,
and Princey.
Yeah,
but he's still got decent pace. He's just not on the same legs as those in front. But P16 is a long way off, and he has managed to keep this lap valid, which is very important for him. And you'd imagine it will get him through to the next session. But it's only 14th Moose. He's in trouble here.
He's in big trouble when you consider that Maniac potentially only has to improve by 2/100ths of a second.
Yeah, you've got 2-5 behind. You've got Girk. You've got the Cult Hero. You've got Nat Hammer, mate, who's in the top 5 of the championship. 2-5 pushes him down. He is the driver of risk here. You'd imagine he'd be pushing again, but still.
Checking
not
flag,
comfortable.
he's out.
Yes, it is. Here comes the Cult Hero.
Oh, and Scotty
around
has
turn
invalidated.
27.
Scotty's invalidated his final run.
I don't like his chances of making it. Will the Cult Hero push him out? No, he will not. Jackie Prez, he's coming into the pit lane. He's obviously already into the next part of qualifying. Jury Strat is about to come up towards the line, but I think he might know. It looked like he might have been going into the pit lane, but he goes to the line, goes ninth fastest on an improvement.
Nat Hammer has improved through the first 2 sectors. He's on a
he's close.
He's a couple
based on that, he'll be close.
It is going to be very close between these two.
Well, here we go. Can he push the championship leader out of qualifying 1?
Yes,
he can. He's done
it.
Oh, Maniac's off. He's done and dusted. Kirk on him own valid. So it was Nat Hammer's lap mate who pushed him out of the session.
That is huge for Scotty. On a night where he needed every starting position that he could possibly get his hands on, that has gone all wrong for the lad.
And look at it. M-Stone's on the 11th, mate. He's 8/10ths behind the other championship contender, the main one you'd consider, of Prince, who's up there in P1.
Yeah, it's massive. Absolutely huge.
And what were those odds I was seeing before? I saw them in the chat somewhere.
I only saw the one that said that Nat Hammer was $1 to get here right on race time.
Here we go. Odds market for Tier 2 tonight. $2.50 for El Jacko, $3.75 for Sando, $5 for Prince, $6 for Scotty. Now that's short odds for that position. Dino and M-Stone $9, Roscoe 11, and Apache Frank's 101.
Yeah, right.
Any driver not listed is paying $21.
I feel like Apache Franks has really got the hard end of the deal there.
Oh, I'd throw $1 on him. A little roughy.
What do you mean? I'd chuck a hundo on Prince OK at $5. Jeez.
That's true. Think about all the KFC, the Colonel.
Oh, no, not at all. Yuck.
Maybe not now. Yeah. You probably don't feel like it now. But
mate, I'll give you the tip. I haven't really eaten anything since Friday. I'm not in a good way.
You don't sound that bad, but you probably feel that bad.
Mate, I'll give you the tip. I'm putting on the Meryl Streep performance for you tonight. It is very.
It's a brave face.
It is a very brave face.
Scotty,
Werther's Original. There's a new sponsor for us.
There you go.
We're getting you through it.
Scotty Maniac, Apache Franks, Gurkonamo, and Flourish Expire, the 5 we lose in the first 18 minutes. And now we're going to move on to Q2. The sun will be a little bit lower in the sky. We'll be getting towards the dark qualifying here in Jeddah. 15 minutes on the clock, and we are ticking. And I expect to see some medium tyres early, Moose.
I think so, yeah. I think the other mediums are definitely the way to go here, although Sando thinks that Inters might be the way to go. So let's see if it pays off for him.
Well, El Jacko keeps reiterating that there's rain apparently, but I don't believe it.
Yeah. Back in 2 secs, mate.
No worries, mate. Even on an outlap here, it's just so fast here on the streets of Jeddah. An average lap speed of over 234 kilometers an hour. In qualifying trim, as Jury Stright's going to start us off for the first lap of this session. And DFL Alpha, I've never watched before. Who's in the championship fight? So, currently tied for P1 is M Stone in the Aston Martin and the Ferrari of Scotty, who was knocked out in Q1 massively for championship, massive championship ramifications possibly come the end of this race. And then the third is Prince, who is 20 points back from the 2 at the top, but he was the fastest man in the first part of qualifying by 1/10 of a second over Sando. It was a 27.4 for Prince, who was out there on the medium. We'll tune to him now as he's coming towards the end of Sector 1 into turn 13, this next long left-hander. And this medium tyre is 1.2 seconds slower than the soft around this as they are when they are brand new. So that is a massive difference between the two tyres. And it's going to be very, very difficult, you'd imagine, Moosey, for anyone to get through on this medium. But it's looking like a pretty good lap this far from Princey as he comes up towards the next left-hander at 22.
Oh, touches the wall.
Did he? I didn't see it on my camera
on the
angle.
left-hand side, he smashed the wall.
Well, front wing intact, so he might have got away with that. He's pushing the limit on these medium tyres, Moosey.
He certainly is, and just with the one corner remaining, he's going to get a nice toe
Oh, he's
hit
got a little
from
toe
Nick
hit
as well.
And if you think about it, if he did a 27.4 on the soft, he should do a 28.6. But he's done a 28.4.
Yeah.
So that's better than he's... Well, probably with a bit of track evo from that time, it's probably about just as good as that first lap. So that's a cracker on the medium.
There is a McLaren not moving at all. It is Prezzo, and might have lost it in the wall there, I think.
See, the wing, well, we're not going to see the wing because the wing is goneth. The wingeth is goneth.
The wingeth goneth.
Expelliarmus.
Expecto Petronium.
Sando on the medium, so the closest man to Prince in that first session. What does he do? 28.5, and well, they're 10th apart again, Moosey.
They certainly are.
And then Jacko.
Jacko, where's he come from?
From the Williams Fitbox, mate. From the Williams garage at the end of the pit lane.
That's fair enough. Good evening to you, Mr. Hammock. See you in the chat. Always nice to hear from you.
Yes, hope all is going okay with you, Hammock, and the situation with your family.
Yeah.
Who have we got out there, mate? Well, definitely not Prezzo, since his wing is goneth.
No one's
Nat
on a
Hammer?
lap.
Nat Hammer's on a lap.
The Hammer of Nats.
No, he's not on a lap. He's on a delta-ish or an in-lap or some kind.
Yeah. Fact finding.
M Stone. Sorry, he's invalidated, mate. Invalid from 2.5, so... No one really pushing the envelope at the moment, but Jackie Perez is sideways. In Sector 1. But he's gotten that all wrong on those medium compounded tyre. So I imagine there'll be a few delta laps from those on the soft compound, mate, so they might try medium and then go late for softs at the end of the session, but starting on the soft isn't too bad here. Easy soft medium here, and with a high chance of a safety car, especially early on, Moose.
Yeah,
starting on the soft could be the winning strategy, but it just depends how the cookie crumbles for you. And we saw last season Absolute go from 20th to 1st in Tier 2 in Season 2 of the OSRL.
Well, mate, we also saw here that someone forget about the 2 mandatory tyre compounds last year.
We did.
Yeah.
It was Tier 3, I think.
I thought it was Tier 2.
I feel like it was Tier 3, but I might be wrong. But we definitely did see someone forget the 2 tyre rule.
Yeah.
Oh, and M Stone invalid again, mate. So he is struggling. He is definitely struggling more than we've seen in recent weeks.
Yeah, it certainly is. So it could be a big night for Prince OK in terms of the championship tonight. This is his moment to take the lead and to put one hand onto that trophy.
Or could it be M Stone lingers at the bottom end of the top 10, Scotty recovers to the bottom end of the points, and Prince goes on the podium and closes that 20-point gap? Anything could happen.
Oh, anything always does happen. And hearing from Venti in the chat, mate, hello to you, Venti, that it was Tier 3 and it was Cool Boy last season that didn't run the 2 tyre compounds.
I think that might be right, and I think he might have been an Alfa Romeo. But I also may be wrong on that, because I like being wrong about things. But staying with Emso now, who's going for this 3rd lap, mate, and he's invalid once again. So I think it's time for him to abandon ship on these medium tyres, put on some softs, and just try and get into Q3.
Yeah, absolutely. Prezzo just starting his... Oh, he got all out of shape there into turn 1. And he's going to cost himself a decent lap time already here in just turn 1, I would have thought. But he's keeping on going with it. And it's looking tidier than it did at turn 1, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch the moment at turn 1, so that's looked alright there through the S's of Sector 1. No purple, but he is versing the soft tyre runners, so that's what you would expect as he comes up around into the heart of Sector 2, this 15-16 chicane, where a lot of this lap time is. It's basically turn 13 and that chicane, and that is Sector 2. And that's basically that's basically Sector 2 and Sector 3 on this track. It's one longish corner and a chicane in the middle of it. As we come into that fast speed chicane of Sector 3, turn 22, 23, and we come out the other side around the curve of 25 and 26 down towards the final breaking point of this lap. And really, it's about, I'd say, one of 2 heavy breaking points on this lap, Moosey.
Absolutely, mate.
And
Is
it's
that
a 28.
a 28.
That's not bad, really, considering that's half a second off Jacko's time. So
Does put him
that's
into that
decent
fun
speed
zone.
from the McLaren who had that moment at turn 1 that you alluded to, Moosey.
Yeah, sorry. And who's on a lap here? Nat Hammer appears to be on a very big push lap now, mate. And the fuel light is on, so he might have enough to just finish this lap off. And that's it, as he's rounding the final corner now. Kisses the wall on the inside. Probably not ideal for the lad. Comes to the line, stays to the left-hand side for the shortest run. Goes P7 on the soft compound of tyres. So he needs to find some time out there, but with no fuel left in that car, he might be in a bit of trouble here, Nat Hammer.
Well, we saw that he only just scraped through Q1, mate, so I think that's just his pace, unfortunately, this evening, and I don't really think it will be challenging for that top 10 in qualifying.
Well, not if that lap time is anything to go by. Although we do still have 3 drivers that haven't set a lap time in this session yet. So it'll be very, very interesting indeed to see who invalidates these last couple of runs, as we only have 4 minutes left in this session, mate. So it is everyone's game to play for at the moment. And if you invalidate, it's going to come back and hurt you big time now.
Absolutely. So 2-5, one of those men without a time on the board. And you really want to be exiting the pit lane with about 2 minutes, mate, for an outlap here, just so you don't have to push the tyres too hard and you get around nicely. That's the latest you want to leave it. So about a minute and a half for these drivers to get out if they want to come out on that soft compound of tyre. But we're with the Ferrari, who's coming up towards Sector 3 now, into this very fast left-right, and then it's easily flat around the next right of 24. The DRS opens, and we are going to be flat out for a while down towards this final braking point. And he's just got a little bit wide there on the apex, just didn't quite get the car rotated as he would have wanted.
Not terrible though.
It wasn't awful, just didn't quite hook up the apex and go second fastest.
Although
27.8.
That is on
soft tyre.
Soft tyre. I think everyone has to improve here. I think it's basically going to be forced onto everyone to improve.
Well, here comes Dino. This will be his last lap, mate, of this session. And he goes only 7th fastest. And, well, I imagine he'll be departing on the Q2 train.
Yeah, my graphic says that Dino's still on the medium compound tyre, and he is. There you go.
Yeah, he is. And so he doesn't have time to get back in. He doesn't have fuel to do another lap, so that is him done. As Roscoe's going to set off on a second attempt on these soft tyres. A man who is in the top 5 of Q1, so you don't want to invalidate, but he's just done that. And he's going to have to hope he's got enough fuel just to scrape around and start again, or else we're going to be losing him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, another person we might potentially lose is Jackie Prez, who's just clobbered the wall on the right-hand side as he comes through the S's of Sector 2, mate.
Yeah, we'll flick back to Sando, mate, who is 9/10 up on these softs as he comes into Sector 3 now, nicely through Turn 22, not pushing the limits to the max, but not really needing to, mate, because he's easily in that top 10 already on those medium tyre lap. And at the moment, this is going to put him around the time of 10 sandals. But with an extra 3 or 4 tenths in this final sector, can he go into that pole position or the P1 time? Yes, he can. It's a 27.4 from Sando.
That's a tenth quicker than his Q1 time as well.
And I don't think he would have been pushing to the max on that one. Dino is done. Broken Reptile is just coming around. Roscoe's going to try and get around with fuel for a second lap. It might be a bit of an effort for him to do. No hammers on our lap. So Prince OK, mate, I think is the next car. He's 6 tenths up in Sector 1. We'll get an idea of his improvement. It was 9/10 for Sando with the soft tie to Sector 2. What is it for Prince? Okay, it is a pretty similar amount, and we'll expect to see him right up the top of the timing page here, mate.
Yeah, we certainly will. He's absolutely flying here as Prince OK. And he's going to do some big things here on this lap. Because he's only got that that turn 27 to navigate now. Nails it. And it is a straight up drag race to the line now for the lad. Stays to the left. And he will move into only P3, but it is a 27.6. That's a very impressive lap in its own right as the checkered flag drops.
Yes, it does. Buster T16, can he make it into the top 10 here? He does. He's into 9th. Will he stay there? That's a different story. M Stone, dual championship leader with Scotty. We lost Scotty in Q1. Will we lose M Stone in Q2? No, we won't. It's P5 for him.
Broken Reptile setting personal best in Sector 1. He's very quick through Sector 2 as well. Broken Reptile's going to be on for a very, very impressive lap here. Into turn 27 he goes. Misses that apex just slightly. Nearly hits the wall, nothing doing. He'll come to the line now. What can he manage? It is a 28.1. Elevates himself into 6th.
And Roscoe's out of fuel, mate, and he is out of the session.
Bugger.
And what could have been for him? He had the speed. Nick Mann goes into that top 10, taking advantage of other people's mistakes. Nat Hammer, can he make it his way into the top 10? He's going to be close here, mate, with the times of Jury and Prezzo. Oh, sorry, just Jury. Well, he was close with Prezzo as well. He goes in, Jury is in the pit lane, and that's everyone done, mate. So, we're going to be losing Roscoe, Jackie Prez, Buster T16, Dino 420 fam, and Jury Strat.
Mate, Jacko makes it through on the medium compound of tyre. The only driver to do it.
Yeah, and well, Prince could have made it. Sando wouldn't have. But they're up there on the soft, and well, that hurt a driver last season in Tier 1 who did that strategy just with an early safety car. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But Banana Hammock, thank you for the gifted sub to Bags Liddell. We appreciate that, my friend. And Venti for his resub of 11th months. So thank you, Venti. We miss you in the commentary box, man.
We do.
And Crashjaw Maldonado. Now that's a funny name.
Yeah.
Thank you for the follow, mate.
That's
we
funny.
appreciate it.
That's really funny.
It is quite bad. It's quite good. Bit of a classic take on the old Pastor. Well, I think it's racing sports cars still.
A bit of Borat.
Absolutely. So it is Sando fastest, mate. Ahead of 10 Sandals and Prince. And, well, we're going to have to watch out for Jacko on the soft tyres, mate, who has a real shot at this pole position you as well. It's going to be interesting Q3.
Yeah, it certainly is. And if the tyre delta is 1.2 seconds between the tyre, in theory, Jacko is 4/10 clear on pole.
Yeah, that's right. But I reckon Prince and Sando were probably holding back a little bit there because they didn't need to take the risk of invalidating and then risking themselves being out of the session because of an invalidation. So I think at the last run of Q3, there's definitely more time for those two. But we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
So the final part of qualifying, 12 minutes on the clock. And we're going to determine the top 10 of this grid.
Time out there for 3 solid runs if you can make it work.
Will they have the tyres though? That's the thing.
Oh well.
Because they will have used one in Q1 and one in Q2, so they'll only have 2 new sets of softs, so I think it might just be 2 runs for them. The other one who have 3 will be El Jacko, but I don't... Did he come out on the softs in Q3? Oh, sorry, in Q2 at the end?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember him being out, but he might have been. But he'll want to save a set of softs for the race, mate, because he'll be putting those on at his pit stop, so...
Yeah.
Once again, probably just 2 runs for him.
Check your inbox.
No worries, mate.
As first man in the queue does appear to be, it might even be Baby Sando here, mate. As he's just making his way around the middle sector now. And probably won't want to be punching a hole in the air, sorry. For the drivers behind him, but that's unfortunately what he appears might be the case. But mate, he will be the first man in the queue here.
Yes, he will. So, we're right on board. Turn your volume up and enjoy the lap.
Sando, a 27.2 is as quick as we've seen tonight from any driver. That is a very impressive lap from the baby brother there, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. So, a very, very smooth run from him, but Prince has eclipsed him by 11 thousandths of a second, mate. So, ever close there at the top. 2-5 has invalidated El Jacko. We're going to go back to him, mate, who was just absolutely run almost up to the wall there on the exit of turn 17. And we're going to come through these sweeping corners easily flat. Just try and minimise the distance, minimise the steering input out of the start of Sector 3, turn 22 and 23 chicane, under that square, rectangular, strange-looking building, mate, lit up by the neon lights here on the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Around the final corner we come now for the man who, on theoretical pace, was fastest in Q2. Will that translate onto the soft? Not at the moment. It's only a 27.8.
Over half a second down.
As Ted Sandals pulls out a 27.1.
That is a
and
very
he
nice
has
lap
pulled
there
out
from the McLaren.
Yeah, absolutely. 27. What did we? Did I say very low 27s?
I said a very low 27.
And I'm pretty sure I said we won't see a 26. I think that's what I said.
I'm pretty sure I said both of those things.
One of us said us. We're right in the ballpark, Moosey, is what we're trying to allude. What I'm trying to allude to here.
Oh,
we've absolutely nailed the prediction.
On a pass fail, I think I'm somewhere about there, and 2.5s hit the wall, and invalidated for his troubles as well. He'll be in the pit lane for a new front wing.
Yeah, and struggling is 2-5. He got through to this session, but neither Ferrari has looked good this evening, really, compared to where you'd expect to see them.
They did struggle last week also in Spain, unfortunately for the team. So when they're fighting for that Constructors' Championship, you can't really have nights like this, but it is just all not going the way that Ferrari would want at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. As we've got Broken Reptile on an outlap, just trundling around slowly. Sando has invalidated a second attempt. M Stone has invalidated a second attempt. I think 10 Sandals is just coming into the pit lane. He's running on fumes in that McLaren. So a little bit of a lull here. We'll stay with Broken Reptile. He's going to complete his outlap and go on to his first push lap of the session. But now, what if I remember, it was a 28-1 for pole last night, Moosey. So a very big gap between the tiers on the Jeddah circuit, it appears. But I say that, there's only 3 of them that are well and truly ahead at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty much a 0.3 of a second gap.
But it was pretty similar in Tier 3 as well, you know, there's a couple at the front and then there's a few further back, so...
A gaggling.
A gaggling! I think you say that more than I do now.
Yeah, but I say it as a, you know...
You say it as a bit of a joke, yeah.
Whereas you said it legit.
I did. I do like the word. It's a good word.
Martin Brundle used it at Monaco the other night.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's definitely been watching the OSRL commentary then. He's definitely stolen it from us.
Copyright.
I might have to. Well, they did have to talk shit for a while the FIA did some memeing. And General Mayhem, thank you for your follow. Oh, that's a little slide there from Broken Reptile on the Exeter 13 as we come up towards the next chicane. In there nicely, out there nicely. Get up towards the wall as close as you dare, my friend. And then it's just knowing the braking point up here at 22. Get it in. And he's just missed a gear there, and he's gone a little bit wide. That's just going to cost him a little bit of lap time. That's just going to help. It's just going to halter his progress up the kilometres an hour. Just that tad, and that's a little bit of lap time he doesn't need to be losing because he's fighting with these boys who are rapid around this circuit. But out of the final corner comes the Red Bull with 3 minutes on the clock, Moosey, and he goes 8th fastest at 28.3.
Yeah, slowest of all drivers so far.
But he has managed to set a valid lap, which a couple of these other boys have not managed to.
That's a very good point.
And that could be the difference. You know, we saw Roscoe invalidate two laps on that softs in the end of Q2, and that's the reason why he's not in this session.
And Broken Reptile, he's definitely going again, and he's only a 10th down in the first sector. So you did mention he had a little bit of an oopsie in Sector 3. Let's see if he can find some time.
Yeah, we'll stay with him to the Sector 2 split. If he's not improving, we'll go back to 2-5, who's also lapping in his Ferrari. Nick Mann's out there as well for the Williams. So 3 men on a hot lap at the moment as we come up to that second sector time. Broken Reptile not finding time, but he's not losing it. So we might stay with him. And I think he's gotten that better this time around. So can he find time? But this is when he's going to start hurting on that ERS Moosey on a back-to-back lap. And I think he has backed off.
Oh,
he has.
He's out of fuel.
And that's his session done with 2 minutes on the clock. 2-5 coming around now. He is valid. And, well, it's basically impossible to invalidate from this point on without losing a whole chunk of lap time. So down into the next left-hander, the final corner, turn 27. And he's going to hope that this puts him in some sort of relatively competitive position. And it does, a 27.4. So that's actually very, very
really
good.
Good lap time there. Back against the wall, and he's absolutely delivered.
Absolutely. He hasn't conformed to the pressure there. He's stood up against it, and he's put in a very good lap time. And I'd say that's probably about his max that I was expecting. We're going to see what the Williams of Jacko, Nickman, M-Stone, Prezzo, Nat Hammer, what they can do in response. Currently a 14th gap to Jacko. Excuse me. As the final runs of Q3 are commencing. El Jacko here, purple sector 1, 3/10 up, Moosey.
He's
And he
absolutely
needs,
flying, sorry mate.
he needs 7.5 tenths in that region to take pole position at the moment from the McLaren of 10 Sandals as he runs right up to the extremities there on the exit of that chicane. Very nicely done from the Williams driver. And we're going to get another idea. He's another couple of tenths up. It's 4.8 now. So he's going to need to find more time in Sector 3, which isn't the easiest thing to do, Moosey, because it's basically flat. It's a long, long, long run towards his final corner where he needs to nail his braking point, nail his turning point, and nail his throttle application. And he's going to have to hope. It looked pretty good, but will it be pole?
Oh.
No, it will not. He goes second fastest as the checkered flag is waving here on the streets of Jeddah. M-Stone has not made it. He is 7th fastest. Nickman in the Williams, a 10.5 up on his previous best, which is not enough to move him any positions, but it might move him further away from the boys chasing him behind of Prezzo and Nat Hammer. The next car is which McLaren, if you want to work it out for me. Nickman crosses the line, goes. It's 10. He is up. No, it is Prezzo, the next car.
Oh, sorry,
he goes 6. He beats Nickman. The next car is Prince, mate. Can he take pole position? Yes, he can. Oof. It's a 27-0 from him. What about Sando? He's almost 3/10 up on his best lap, mate. He's on for a 26 if he can just nail this final sector. And he goes into the 26s. No. What about 10? No, he can't. It's only 3rd. It is Sando on the pole position in his Alpha Tauri by 0.5 of a second to Prince OK, who's done an absolute stellar lap time. So has 10 Sandals, all 3 of them, within 1/10 of a second over 6.3 kilometres, Moosey. 27 corners, 3 DRS zones, and they're separated by the blink of an eye.
And they certainly are. That is incredible from those top 3 especially. And wow, what rapid times we've just seen around the Kingdom of Jeddah, mate.
Now, last season, to put this into perspective, a 26.8 was pole in Tier 1.
Yeah, right.
That was a poor qualifying from Tier 1 that night, but still, that is very, very rapid from those 3. El Jacko, he theoretically had the pace, but just didn't like the soft tyres, evidently. And he is going to be starting 4th, but he's on that medium, mate, so he's got the alternate strategy to the others. Whether that works out, we're going to be finding out. But it is critical for him to stay out of trouble early on. And we all know that's not exactly his strongest racing asset.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. And this is going to be very, very, very tasty indeed. Short run down to turn 1. And, mate, I think it's all going to be to play for once we get there.
I think this Q3 has just really shown us what we've got coming in this race. And the start is going to be very important, and it is a very big chance that a few of them break away at the front with that medium runner before the DRS coming online on lap 3 down towards turn 13.
Mm-hmm. There is no weather to speak of here in the pit lane.
No, as we are under the floodlights here on the streets of Jeddah for 25 laps of racing. And if you've just missed it, the top 3 in qualifying separated by less than 1/10 of a second on those final runs. Very well done to all 3 of them to set those lap times. But it was Sando who just edged ahead of the Alpine.
You taking the wheel off your baby brother again, mate?
Well, I said that first lap when we went on mute,
Oh,
but you know, it was all him there at the end. I was commentating it. It clearly couldn't have been me.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll run the drivers through the grid here.
I'll tell you what, that would have been very impressive if I managed to commentate and do that lap at the same time.
That would have been pretty
Do
funny.
you want to run us through the grid,
I
or do you want me to?
I don't care.
Yeah, you go. I'll save your energy. So you run us through the grid. I'll do the start.
No worries. It is Sando off pole with that incredible pole lap time that we saw there at the end. Prince OK joins him on the front row for P2. Tent Sandals in P3. And URL Jacko there in P4 on the medium compound of tyre. Only driver to make it through Q2 on that medium tyre. They might come to him more and more as this race progresses. Fifth for 2.5, very impressive there when he had his back up against the wall. Sixth for Prezzo, nice result for him also. Nickman in P7, M Stone P8, Nat Hammer P9, Broken Reptile there in P10. We go to the first of the free choice of tyre runners, and it is mediums across the board pretty much. It is Jury Strat in P11, Dino P12, Buster T16 in 13th. It is Jackie Prez in 14th, Roscoe in 15th. Scotty will be in P16. He'll start on the soft compound tyre, only driver outside the top 10 to do that. It is 17th for Maniac, 18th for the Cult Hero, Apache Franks, 19th for Gurkonamo, and Flourish Expire, mate, will round us out here in P20 for the Oceania Series Racing League Tier 2, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Moosey. And we didn't touch it on Q3, but I think that's the first Q3 for Broken Reptile, at least in a long, long time, if not for the season. So well done to him for making it this evening into that top 10. And Scotty could have played a masterclass here, mate, with that soft tyre. It could work out with him. An early safety car would definitely favour him versus those medium runners. He's going to have to try and wiggle his way past across the 25 laps. But here we are on the grid, and we're just waiting for the last couple of drivers to pull up into their grid boxes before the light sequence commences for the 13th round of the Oceania Series Racing League Tier 2 division. And here we go, Moosey. We're about to get things underway for the fourth last race of the season here in Tier 2. The lights are out and we are underway. And a very, very good start from the McLaren of 10 Sandals. He's alongside Prince as we go down into the braking zone. Sando clears ahead. They are side by side 3 and 2. But I think Prince is going to hold on here, but Ted's got better traction. We're going to stay with this towards the next corner. Prince has the inside line, and he hangs on to Williams just ahead of the Ferrari behind, but he gets a little bit wayward, and he is wide. He is very, very wide, and he's lost 2 or 3 positions there as he just got very, very wide. He's just ahead of his teammate Nickman on the soft tyre, M Stone in behind, and then it is Nat Hammer who is steady. But I think Broken Reptile's had an absolute shocker, mate. He is down to the back of the grid.
He has had an absolute shocker. Someone's had an excellent start. Oh, you did mention it a bit earlier on the formation lap there, mate. Scotty, he's had an absolutely blinding start. He's up.
Oh, and look at this. He's involved in a big battle here with the Alfa Romeos. Dino 425 a little bit wide through 16 he goes. And he's just going to have to tuck up back in behind Buster. But he is trying to make these count early, these soft tyres. And yellow flags towards the back. That is Broken Reptile and Flourish Expire. The Red Bulls having an absolute shocker here as we come towards this next left-hander with this battle for the top 10. Jury leads on the medium tyre, and a couple of these soft runners tucked in behind trying to get all over him. They're too wide. Might go 3, 4 wide into this corner. A little bit of argy-bargy with the Mercedes. They're going to go 2 by 2. The Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo. Scotty's sweeping in on the inside of Buster, and now leading this train is Nat Hammer, mate. Who peels into the pit lane. Jacko in the pit lane as well off the mediums. Big, big news.
It certainly is, mate. A few drivers coming in to get off those medium tyres. And Scotty squeezes himself there. And Scotty up into P9. So he's effectively up. I'll have a look. It is, he's up 7 positions
spots
in 1 lap.
Yes, he is. So Carnage at the back, 5 in the pit lane. Jacko Nahama, Jackie Perez, the 2 Red Bulls. That's just going to hurt broken reps. I was just waiting and waiting. Prince OK is 9/10 back off of Sando as it stands, mate. So he's going to need to make sure he hangs on to DRS, or else Sando could potentially run away with it here. And he's going to get involved in the battle with the boys behind. Running very strongly here is Prezzo F1, mate, who started 9th, and he started 6th, mate. But he is running up there in the top 5, which is, I think, the first time this season he's been this high. So very well done to him. And he's right on the back of the Ferrari gearbox. As a little bit wide goes 2.5, that might have been a warning for the Ferrari. We've already seen a penalty dished out to VSR Roscoe. Not sure if he was trying to avoid any action on that first lap, or if he's just struggling trying to get that medium tyre fired up and stay on the track here on lap 1. But we're coming towards the end of the second lap now and battling this pack again. Scotty gets ahead of Jury. Dino gets ahead of Buster as we round turn 27 for the second of 25 times here in this race. And it's going to be Buster coming back on the attack on the Mercedes down towards the first corner, and on the ERS Buster goes ahead of Dino, who's trying to look back up to the inside, but nothing doing at this time. We'll go back to the front momentarily because 10 Sandals is pushing Princey around, and that's because Princey has made a mistake in Sector 1, mate, and he has dropped out of that DRS, and he's going to try and push now before he has Tent chewing his ear off down towards turn 27 at the end of this lap. But he's getting close. He's getting a little bit out of that ERS. He knows that detection point is coming up as we go to the helicam now. In the background, you can see Nickman chewing the rear wing of the McLaren ahead. He's trying to look to get some sort of advantage as we come down towards this next detection point. But I think he's missed it, Prince. So Tent has it. A little. Do that, and it is so powerful across this track. It's probably worth 6, 7, 8 tenths second of a lap, depending on how close you are, combining that with the slipstream. So very powerful, and it is vital that you get that DRS head. Nickman gets Prezzo there for the top 5 positions. Scotty, he's up 8 spots, mate, so he's having a blinder of a start. Only problem is he's 3 seconds off M-Stone, who's getting towed along nicely by a little mini DRS train, which is headed by Nickman, and they are trying to chase down those in front as Jacko sets the fastest lap on soft tyres. But he is well out of position, and he will need to stop again for tyres. They will not be making it to the end. And look at this. You see the effects. Princey is now well and truly within this DRS zone of Sando, who is comfortably leading out the front. And, well, really, he just needs to conserve a bit of ERS. The race will come to him later. But he also has to be careful that he doesn't get passed by both these blokes on a DRS zone, because if you're stuck third, it's very hard. And 10 Sandals is going to be looking for that opportunity where maybe he can get 2 of them on one straight, or when Princey makes them. towards the inside line, the Alpine, and on the brakes, he moves ahead of the Alpine, but Stando is going to try and challenge around the outside. And who's going to get the DRS here? Because this is important. It's Tent with the far better exit and DRS. He could take them both. I was just alluding to this. He saw it. He took advantage of it. And Sando going around the outside could have potentially cost him first and second positions here, side by side. The Alpine and the Alpha Tauri go. They are level pegging as they come up towards the next left-hander, and Sando just yields. And that's very, very smart because you don't want to be picking up warnings. I think he might have picked one up in turn 1 or 2. Yeah, he was very, very wide.
He did cut the corner to hang on to the position. So luckily, Sando did yield the position back.
Now Tent's doing. Sorry, mate. Now Tent's doing a little bit of juicing. He smells the opportunity to break away. And I was also alluding to a lap or two ago, mate. He just needs to sit back and wait for that specific opportunity when those two are dueling, and you can pounce on them both.
Yeah, absolutely, and he did it to absolute perfection, and he has checked out now. He's trying to drop these guys to the DRS, and he's so far so good for the lad out front.
It's gonna be close.
It's gonna be very close.
Prince gets it. He's got the DRS critically, and Sando's got it on Prince as well. Sando hasn't experienced that dirty air in this race thus far, mate. So it might take him a lap or two to get up to speed in terms of these drivers, and see a little bit of juicing, and he might be out of the DRS here. He's got to be careful, but I think he has got it. But it's so easy to get dragged along, but it's also so easy to get detached.
It certainly is, and Sando looks like he might even be falling off the back of this.
Yeah, well, as I'm alluding to, he just in Sector 1 he really struggled to follow. Just because he wasn't used to driving in the dirty air in this race. He was leading the previous 6 laps or 5 or whatever laps from the lights out until Tent went past. And it's just a whole different ball game through this sector. It's just a little bit less throttle. You've got to be a bit more patient, and wide again he goes. You're better off just trying to hang on and then pushing the car that little bit too wide and picking up some warnings, as Nick Mann has been doing, and he's got a 3-second penalty there in 4th place. Yeah,
I think this is going to come down to some serious penalties at the end of it. There's lots of these penalties coming in now, and I think they're only going to get worse as the race progresses, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Another penalty for Gerkonimo there, down in 14th position, as the medium tyres appear to be firing up nicely now, as we've got Jury Strat all over the back of Prezzo F1. His teammate Buster tucked up in behind as we come up through the end of Sector 2, these long sweeping corners where the speed is building towards 305 kilometers an hour, and wide goes Prezzo, picks up a penalty, and he's going to get a poor run. This is going to definitely leave him vulnerable down this next straight, the curved straight of turns 25, 26, and he loses 1 position to an Alfa Romeo. He might lose 2 here as Buster goes to the outside and sweeps in, and he has claimed that position. And now Dino's all over the back of him, but a poor exit is going to leave him out of position. But into the pit lane comes Frezzo, an early stop. Maybe a bit of damage on this McLaren, Moosey. And yes, they are waiting with a front wing at McLaren, so he just edged the wall by the looks of it at some point and picked up a bit of ghost damage.
Yeah, certainly did, mate. Very unfortunate there for the lad because he was having an absolute blinder. He's not completely out of this just yet. He'll come out of the pits in 15th. And I dare say that he's going to be, he will be going to the end on those tyres.
Yeah, he can go to the end now. So he's just losing whatever lap time he lost because of that front damage, and then 5 seconds in the pit lane for the wing change. So definitely still on for a points finish, a top 10 finish. He's just going to need a good consistent drive in the second half of the race and ensure that he doesn't pick up damage again or penalties, because penalties are going to be a big factor at the end of this one, mate. But here we are back with the lead, and Sando is just probably gone into a bit of a different driving mode now that he's not leading. He is 3rd, and really all he needs to do is stay attached to the pit stop window, and that is when the race is going to start happening for these drivers, and that pit window will probably start opening. It could even open at the end of this lap, mate, as we commence another lap of racing, and all 3 of them going once again, as there is a car sideways of Jackie Prez, mate, on the exit of 13, a long way down the turn 13 exit, That is very, very interesting. And does he have damage? I'm sure we'll find out very, very shortly. As ahead of the championship leader comes Jury Strat, mate, down the main straight into turn 1. And it's the soft tyres on Scotty starting to fade now. And Jury's medium's definitely coming toward him as he's going to try and make impressions on the other championship leader of M Stone, mate.
Well, he certainly is, and it looked very easy as he came past Scotty. Of course, the DRS here, very, very powerful. And Kirk's gone onto the hard compounder tyre. He's got that all wrong.
That's a shocker. That's a tyre you don't want to touch at this track.
That is all wrong. That's not just the wrong strategy, fella. That's hand your gloves in on your way out. That's not
really
right.
all he needs. The thing is though, for Broken Reptile, Gurkonomo, these guys who've had the issues, they really just need to stay on the lead lap and hope for a safety car, because as soon as you're off the lead lap, your race is effectively over. And will we see any pit stop action for the leaders here, Moosey? I'm suspecting that one of them might try an undercut here, but not this lap. So
no, nothing to it.
They feel like they've. The thing is, they're not really being pressed from behind. They're not losing time, and they might be looking for a window to come out into as Nickman and 2-5 continue their battle. And M Stone, mate, he's into the pit lane for Aston Martin, so Fury is released ahead of him. So M Stone stopping one lap earlier than the rest of them at the moment. We'll see how that works out for him. But it actually could be that Sando would lose more from an undercut just because of the DRS for Tent and Prince. Well, obviously Tent doesn't have it, but Prince does have it, and it looks like Tent has some mega pace here, because Prince and Sando aren't exactly getting close at any point.
No, they're definitely not. It's actually looking the other way. Anytime they get sort of within that 7/10 mark, he sort of extends that gap right out again. So Tent looking very comfortable.
Yeah, Sando just had a little snap of the rear there through turn 16, and it's just required a little bit of battery usage to get him back up in towards that 8/10 window where you're comfortably going to get the DRS. But this is great. This is a great 10 laps of racing that we've been presented with, Moose. We're approaching the halfway point of this race. We are definitely approaching the pit stops now. And once again, we're going to stay with them to see if we have any action on the pit entry here for the... And it's going to be a bold...
Oh,
they all come in.
They're all in.
They're all doing the same thing. Oh, and Sando... very, very late on the brakes there, and hopefully he hasn't picked up any damage. He shouldn't have. It was a very, very light touch on the rear of the Alpine, and luckily he didn't push the Alpine into speeding position, or else he would have been a little bit of trouble with the stewards.
The stewards.
The stewards. But look at this, mate. 10 Sandals has done a mega pit stop. He is right on that 1 second window, and out. Is there a Haas? It is. Apache Frank's the Colt Hero, and luckily for Sando, he is just behind him, and that is very, very important, because if Sando got stuck behind him, then that could have effectively been his challenge for the win over.
Absolutely.
With a much slower medium runner, they could have just put him out of the DRS of the guys ahead, and that's enough to lose a race.
It could have been. And turns out it effectively wasn't. So Tent Sandals is well and truly catching Versar Roscoe arm ahead now, to the tune of a couple of tenths on this lap already. 2-5 has effectively taken the lead of this race, although it is a pit stop down.
Ooh, yellows!
Is that Prezzo?
It is Prezzo. Oh no! Hopefully he doesn't have damage, but another mistake from Prezzo there when he was running so well. 2-5, you'd probably expect him to come in this lap, mate, and he does. So he pits from the lead of this race. And it's now going to be the Alfa Romeo 1-2, mate. As Fiery Arrows in the chat, definitely going to be calling the red flag, mate, at this point with his drivers 1 and 2. Dino and Orozco tucked up in behind, as now back into the top 5 comes 10 Sandals with Prince as close as he's been for a number of laps. So is Sando, mate. So maybe the medium tyres are going to go the way of the other drivers. But we shall wait and see. Still a lot of laps ahead of us.
Yeah, there certainly are, mate. Action plenty here on the streets of Jeddah. It is the two Alfa Romeos, first and second. Dino 420 fam is pressuring them in third. Your boy Roscoe a little bit further back in fourth. Those four gentlemen still yet to stop, although Tent Sandals is well and truly within striking distance there. So these top three that have already pit, being Tent, Prince and Sando, they're both running very, very well indeed.
Oh, Dino, this is an unusual part of the track to see a pass on, but through the Sector 2 sweepers, gets the move on to T. That's important because now he can launch a dead set attack on Jury ahead. T is not stuck as that third man in the train. Roscoe behind might be looking to shape a move on Buster as well now, as he's got a really good run out of the start of Sector 3 onto this long straight, and he has made that move. But Buster trying to do the cut back there, and he's got a very good exit from the final corner, so we're going to stay with this. As Roscoe hanging on for now and coming back with a little bit of ARS towards the rear wing of Dino, but he is solidified. What is third at the moment?
Straight on at turn 27, mate.
Yes, he has, and I think Prince the position of 10 at the final corner, and then 10 took her back at turn 1. So battling, we missed it, but they are still running head to stern here for the net lead of this race. And what's really going to be interesting, mate, is what happens when 10, Prince and Sando catch Buster, Roscoe, Dino and Jury. Because traffic could play havoc for them, and it's all about keeping ahead on yourself. You're not racing them for the race win at the moment. However, an unfortunate safety car timing right now would basically put Jury in the net lead of the race, because I imagine everyone would stop for softs.
Well, it certainly would. Yeah, absolutely. Jury would
softs
also
are
have
that
to
quick.
stop, though.
Yeah, but so Jury, Dino, Roscoe and Buster have to stop. They would stop for softs unquestionably, but I suspect Tent, Prince and Sando would also probably stop. They might soft because softs are good. So they want to get through them as quickly as possible without jeopardising their situation in the race. But here comes Sando, mate, on Prince. Okay, down towards turn 27. He's on the outside. He's going to try and sweep in. That's going to hurt his exit though, because Prince might be able to put the power down, and that might be a safety car, mate, because Jackie Prez has crashed on the circuit, and it is a safety car. And in the pit lane is Jury and Dino. They have nailed the timing. Now, does Roscoe get ahead of the safety car? This is very important. And he does, but he's cut the corner and got another warning, and that is another penalty for him.
This is massive right now.
Now, that's not good for Jury, because if they had come out behind, it would have been absolutely massive, because everyone will be having to respect a delta for an entire lap here before we get to the safety car. But Sando has gotten ahead of Prince under this, just before the safety car there, mate, so that's important for him as well. But do they stop? This is very, very interesting. Roscoe Buster will pit, 100%. Do Tent, Sando and Prince stop?
Mate, the cult hero is paying apparently $500 million tonight.
He's going to be third, or he could third, or no, he'll be fifth on the softs.
He'll be.
So yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Depending on, he's in a good position. But wow, what are we going to see from Tent Sandals, Sando and Prince? This is really what I want to know, because does one of them throw caution to the wind and go for the softs, or do they stay out and keep the track position? That's a tough call, Moosey, for these drivers right now.
You have to come in. You have to be on the right tyre. I would expect nothing less than every single driver to come into the pits.
There you go, Moosey's saying everyone's coming in. So we come around. Roscoe is definitely coming in. Buster's coming in. Tent's coming in. Sando's staying out, and so is Prince. And well, he would have been blocked by his teammate, and that might have hurt him as well. Playing into that decision potentially. Nick Man, he's coming into the pit lane. So is 2-5. M-Zone is staying out, mate. So he's going to go onto the podium here. I think he's going to get out ahead of the rest, and so will Jury Strat, mate.
Oh, this is big. So Tent Sandals, he falls to 7th.
7th.
More importantly, he's the 4th man in the queue on those soft
On the
compound
softs, yep.
tyres.
And, well, I was speaking about it before the safety car came out, mate, but it happened as Jacko's going to drive through for speeding under the safety car. That is a rookie error, and that is any chance of good points thrown away by the Williams.
Yeah. That's a cardinal sin, you can't do that.
No, you can't. There's no reason for it. You're gaining nothing. Everyone is driving to the same pace. And, well, everyone's on the lead lap who's still in this race, mate. So, this is going to be a 19-car, 10-lap sprint, or about a 10-lap sprint.
What's going to be exactly?
To the checkered flag. Well, we're on lap 15. We're not going to get going this lap. So, it's probably going to be 9 laps, but you get my point. It's going to be, it's going to be chaos. I have a feeling there's going to be many things happen in the second half of this race.
Yep, absolutely. Drury Strat looking very handy in this race. He's now P4. He's the first man on a brand new set of soft compound tyres. 1.2 seconds is the delta between the soft and the medium tyre. And I just think that this is a big mistake from the 3 boys that have stayed out.
We're going to have to wait and see, because...
Having said that, 2 of them are championship leaders, so...
They are. Scotty back in 13th, mate, so this is massive. Penalties are going to be big here. And the thing is, if something happens, let's say Jury and M-Stone trip over each other, that's going to cause a bottleneck behind, it's going to open up a gap, and potentially damage the cars behind. This is just theoretical, but it can happen with any 2 drivers colliding. So track position is important in that respect. But wow. I have no idea how this is going to play out. I don't think you do either, Moosey. I don't think anyone does. No. But everyone who is in the chat, we appreciate everyone who's here right now. This is an absolutely worldy race. It's going to be one hell of a finish. And we probably going to have one more lap of safety car as Broken Reptile is going to try and catch up. I don't think he's going to do it in time for this lap. As Gurkonro's got a penalty under the safety car. That's another thing you just can't be doing.
Well, we might run
down there in
the
18th place.
We might run through the penalties just while we got a lull, mate. It is 3 seconds for M Stone, for Apache Franks, for Nickman, and for Prezzo F1. It is 11 seconds for Roscoe Arms. It is 12 seconds for Gurkonomo, and it is a drive-through for URL Jacko. They're your penalties as they stand.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the position changes, Moosey?
Positional changes. It is Roscoe Arm, who's up 10 positions at the moment, mate. And on that soft compound tyre, he's in for a very good night.
He's got 11. He's got 11 seconds. That's the problem. Safety car in this lap moves. Very late call. Here we go.
Massively late call.
Well, I don't know if these drivers are going to have these medium tyres ready in terms of temperature. Sando dictating the pace. When does he go? He goes now. Oh, he's in the wall! Oh, he's in the wall. He lit it up. Emerson with a very good restart. We're going to go 3 wide down towards the first corner of the Alpine. On the inside, Sando going very deep. I'm not sure if he got it stopped in time. Prince trying, but he's not got the try attempt. Round goes his teammate. Round goes Jury. Where is Ted Sandals in all of this? He hasn't got the restart. He's got wing damage as well, mate. He's gone straight on. And the 3 who were leading this race have absolutely blown up and imploded.
They certainly have. And what has happened here? As Tent Sandals, he's gone from leading this race. He's dead last now. Sando will be in the box this lap. He has to have some sort of wing damage after he just lit it up and ended up in the wall. Jury Strat looking very handy here. And M Stone, we said this needed to be a big night for him in the championship. He skipped away. He's leading this race. And, my goodness, mate.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe what has just happened, mate. This is insane.
This is all gone the way that M Stone needed the script to go tonight.
Oh, it has. Jury, he's on a worldie. He has the potential. Now, does Sando have damage? That's going to be the big factor in this. You'd think he would. He smacked the wall.
He gave it a good wallop.
Oh, he's going to be careful. He's going to help in on his inside. He's going to try and go to the pit lane. What is he doing? And he's probably just doing damage to Roscoe doing that because he's just pushed him in the wall.
Yep. He certainly would have, and that's tragic for Roscoe Arm.
He's
not a driver that normally features heavily up the top, and he's up 12 positions at the moment. And if he's picked up damage from that, that is that's not good at all.
No, it's your duty to go to the left before there's a car overlapping. If a car gets overlapped, you've got to go around.
Are you telling me, or are you trying
I'm telling everyone.
Are you trying to get it through the wall?
Oh, should I smash the wall a couple times?
Well, it was an Alpine that he crashed into.
Yeah, not happy.
Let's call that one questionable from Sando.
One for the stewards. Jury is right in the gearbox of M-Stone for the lead of this race. M-Stone with that penalty. Now, I think Prince he has got no damage, mate, but he's on that medium tyre, so it's important that he tries to stay where he is before DRS is enabled, because there's a couple of penalties ahead, and he could still feature very, very strongly on this podium, mate.
Jury having a look and moves into the lead of this race. Sorry to cut you off.
Yes, he does. No, you're right. We were watching it. But yes, Jury has taken the lead. M-Stone is coming back at him down the main straight, however. Fury will be able to break later on the soft. He's on the outside. There you go, side by side through the first couple of corners. And M-Stone gets the exit he needs to stay ahead, going into the next left-hander. Roscoe's still right in the back of them because he's got the soft tyre, so he's going to have the grip. Hopefully he doesn't have damage, but it would be some kind of miracle if he doesn't.
Well, mate,
because he
still looks fast.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't look quite as fast as Jury, but he can still hang on here.
He certainly can. And penalties are going to play a big part here, mate. As M-Stone and Roscoe, they both have penalties in this race. So it is very much if you can keep it clean here at the moment.
Absolutely, and Prince is nicely sitting in 4th position at the moment. And he's got a nice little buffer behind him. And he's got the DRS, mate. So he's still on, potentially not just for a win. Penalties could still play into this. So it's going to be very, very important. For the lead comes Jury, comes M-Stone, comes Roscoe Arm. They are going very, very closely to one another. You could throw a blanket over these drivers. And up the main straight we come. M-Stone's going to lose 1. He's going to lose potentially 2 positions as Roscoe's going to run on Fury Strat. But he's going to just stay behind for now. M-Stone's going to try and hang on here.
Whack.
That was a little bit rude there from the Aston Martin. But I think the Alpine's going to have the inside line for the next corner. And he should claim this position. Yes, he does. Moves up into 2nd place. But does he have wing damage? I think we're about to find out.
Yeah, we certainly are, mate. It's M-Stone might potentially lose out to a few more here as he got himself a little bit compromised there after that battle with Roscoe. But not really seeing the effects of that as he manages to comfortably hang on to 3rd.
Cute A Faya and Archlord, thank you for the follows. Our Sorrel Tier 2. The final 5 laps coming up of what has been an amazing race. There has been fortune for some, and then that fortune has been snatched off them after this safety car restart. Sando and sent packing to the back, and now M Stone, he's got Prince all for company now, who really needs to try and make this move with a bit of ERS, with some DRS. M Stone's got it as well, but we watch them go side by side down towards the next left-hander of turn 27. And M Stone on the inside holds on for now, but how long can he hold on for? Prince is going to really try and make this move as we come up the main straight, the pit straight. He goes to the inside. M Stone might get a little bit blocked in by the other Alpine. They have 3 wide down towards the first corner, and a little squeeze from the Aston Martin as both Prince and M Stone go past Roscoe there, with Nick Mann just riding in the gearbox of the drivers behind, as we have one pitting and quitting. That is Girk Onomo.
Yeah, we certainly do, mate. Girk with the pit and quit. And it is all to play for here at the moment. You've got Nick Mann within very much touching distance of Roscoe ahead of him. You've got a couple of positions changing a little bit further down. Let's see.
Oh my, what am I watching now? What is this? Further back.
Yeah, it is.
They're 3-4 wide around turn 13. What are they doing? There's a driver with no wing. Who is that? That is Nat Hammer in the Mercedes. Oh my. That is chaos. They're still 2 wide. They're still one of them. Come on, boys.
Breathe, mate. Breathe.
Oh, pants it out, mate. I need a drink of water, but I can't because it's too exciting to go away.
It certainly is, as Dino runs very wide. He's going to get swallowed up here by the Cold Hero. The Cold Hero wants every part of Dino 420 fam at the moment. Look at who's that coming through. It's Prezzo. Where did he come from? Where are we? He's come through and he's gone bang, bang, bang. And I'm going to take a couple of positions. And Prezzo nearly runs into the wall for his troubles, but Dino's going to fight back at him. And here we go. Dino into the pits. Can the Cold Hero come back in his old seat? He's going to come back and he's going to say, that's my old seat. You're not having it, fella. And the McLaren just hanging onto it as we come out of turn 2.
Yes, he is, mate. Up the front, 1.5 seconds is the lead as they are just picking up penalties aplenty now. There they are on the screen. We're not going to go through them. And Scotty, mate, has somehow he's climbed to 6. He was 14th at the restart move.
He's going to be on the podium.
What is going on? Can Prince have one last ditch effort at the win? Jury ahead just needs to make sure he does not let that Alpine into his DRS, or it could left right good night for Jury's win.
Oh, Mount in the chat asking what happened to Sando. Mate, he lit up the rears off the safety car restart, ended up in the wall, and then took a couple of drivers with him on his way into the pit lane. It all happened.
Mate, it has all happened. I just don't know how to just describe what has happened in this race. It has been an absolutely unforgettable race here on the streets of Jeddah, and it is not over yet. We have 3 racing laps to go as we cross the line, and into the DRS is the Alpine of Prince at the front, and M Stone has not gone with him. This could be the battle for this win.
Scotty overtakes 2 into turn 1 we go. He gets overtaken back, but look at this. He's still going to fight it with Nick Mann. Nick Mann getting the better of him though and picking up P4, although penalties still to play.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not going to crunch any of the numbers, mate. It's going to be too complicated with what is going on up there on the screen. All you need to know is Prince and Jury at the front, penalty-free. Jury on 8-lap-old softs. Prince on 11-lap-old medium. So they're probably evening out, Moose, as those softs are getting a little bit old now. However, 3 or 4 of those laps were under those slowed conditions, under the safety car. So they're a little bit younger than they might indicate. But I'm getting very, very excited, as Miller is still alluding to in the chat, as we have got a couple more twists and turns, I suspect, in this race to go. It is not all over. And Scotty, who this was going to be an awful night in the championship for, it could turn out to be a critical night with M Stone just ahead. But on the pens, he is we think he's just ahead, but we're going to have to wait until the checkered flag drops. He's going down the inside of the Williams, who has just tucked in behind now, but he's going to have the DRS down towards the first corner, and Nickman is doing everything he can, and so is Prince OK. He has taken the lead on lap 24 of 25, Moosey.
Nickman comes back past Scotty for P4 there. So Scotty will still inherit that back on penalties if he can keep it clean himself. Prince OK has moved into the lead, like you said though, mate. And in terms of the championship, this is it is pretty much Prince OK versus Scotty at this point. And mate, isn't that a very telling story out there at the moment? As they would currently finish P1 and P3.
It's it's an amazing day for these guys, and that would give him 8 points on Scotty and a few more on M Stone, but still 1.5 laps to go here, Moosey, and the ERS advantage lies heavily in favour of the Alfa Romeo. He has got 50% more, and it's about when does he make this move, because that DRS is still very, very powerful, and he might as well start burning now, because he's going to run out of time to deploy it. But he is not burning it for now. He's electing to stay behind Prince. He's just got to try and play this smart. Ideally, you want to have DRS going into this corner on the final lap. But here we go. Scotty, once again, goes past the Williams down to the final corner, but Nickman outbrakes him, or Scotty lets him back through to have another run, potentially, down towards the first corner. Nickman's going to do everything he can to hold on for potentially what could be his first podium in Tier 2 on his first full-time race. But we go back to the lead. Jury still behind the Alpine as we come up towards turn number 4. And now into the heart of Sector 1 we go. Prince looking very comfortable out there on the mediums, but not comfortable enough to drop the Alfa Romeo of Jury Strat, who will just be burning battery in a straight line this entire lap. And the DRS opens once again. It goes back to 3.5 tenths into turn 13. There is 27 on this circuit. We are halfway around the lap. It is the final lap. It is round 13, Oceania Series Racing League, Tier 2 division. And this is one of the best battles we've seen for the lead in the final laps of any race this season, Moosey. And Jury is poised to take this race win. Prince is going to try and do everything. But what can he do against the straight line speed of this Alfa Romeo, which is coming up now? DRS enabled, ERS enabled. Prince going a little bit of weaving as we come around these curves. He's going to hug the inside. He's going to try and hang on. Jury is getting close. They are side by side into the final corner of this race. And ahead is the Alpine, but they have crashed. They have crashed. And across the line, they are going to come. Who is it going to be? It is Jury just ahead. But wow, that is going to be looked at. That is going to be looked at. Scotty third on an absolutely incredible day for his championship. Nickman in fourth. What could have been without that penalty? M Stone down there in 5th. Flourish Expire goes last to 6th place. Jacko, he was nowhere in this race. He had a drive-through, he had damage on lap 1, finished 7th. Buster, Broken Reptile, Roscoe with about 400 years of penalties gets dropped down to 10th. 10 Sandals finishes 11th ahead of Prezzo and Sando. Those two threw it away at the restart. There is no doubt about it. Dino finishes without wing once again down there in the P14, just ahead of whoever got the final point.
Oh, man.
But holy shit.
Mate,
wow.
The chat has exploded.
I am without voice.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Oh my, wow.
It did look like a little bit of a squeeze, I might just say.
I think we're going to have to see the onboards of both drivers. I was on a broadcast cam, so
No.
I have no idea what happened.
I was on board with Jury, and it didn't look great.
Well, Jury took the lead. He took the win on track, so...
He did. And
He did.
Prince OK and Scotty, the two championship protagonists, second and third. That is huge stuff. That is pretty much going to keep it level pegging, almost level pegging, at this point in the championship, with 3 rounds to go.
Yes, mate. 3 rounds to go.
Monaco.
Monaco, Portugal, and Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Brazil.
And Jury has come home for his second win of the season provisionally here. And, fuck, I forgot to do the results.
Naughty boy.
In the haste of the moment, I've just forgotten to do the most important part.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, driver of the day, get your votes in. There's a lot of you here, so I expect a lot of votes. There is the link. Not hard. Click on it, driver. Press submit. We'll get them in for an interview.
Vote once.
And there is a lot of you in here, and we're going to have the drivers in here for an interview. The podium sitters and the driver of the day.
Absolute in the chat saying you had one job.
I did have one job, and well, you know what? I was just flabbergasted.
Mate,
At the
entire comms team's
finale to that.
The entire comms team's going to get that message now, and it's all good
Yeah,
for you.
don't care. It's all because of me. Who was on the podium? The third person? No, they're all here. They're all here. Disregard. Oh, well, let's not wait, Moose. Starting with third, Scotty, we thought it was going to be the worst night of your championship, and somehow you've come home on the podium. What a drive, mate. Well done.
No, thanks for that. I thought in a little bit of trouble here, but I thought go aggressive, get the softs on, make my way through. Obviously, probably pitted a couple laps before that safety car, but I knew if I could keep it clean and sort of watch the carnage happen around me, I thought I could get a good result. Podium, no chance, but hey, you take them as any way you can get them. But yeah, thrilled about that.
Yeah, absolutely. The points are in your pocket, mate. And, well, from what I've seen, no one's going to be taking those away from you. So, very good drive on a very important night for your championship hopes.
Yeah, nah, thanks for that.
And Moosey will move on to P2 by the slenderest of margins and in one of the most controversial ends to a league race I've ever seen. Prince, welcome to the podium. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, hey man. Oh jeez, that was a fucking race, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean, I suppose the controversy you're referring to is that last corner. But,
I don't know. That final corner? What?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything happen.
The race was so much more than that, like seriously. At one point I was like, oh, this DRS train's just going to go to the end, I just have to maneuver my way past Sando and Tent and I'll get the dub. But the safety car really threw a spanner in that, and oh Jesus. Yeah, it's just so topsy-turvy, just standard tier 2 action, and yeah, I'm just glad we both got out of that incident at the last corner, and he got the dub.
Yeah, I didn't see it on board, but not exactly how you want to finish a race, but both of you did finish that race, so well done. Still a good night. You've closed in on your rivals in the championship, so well done to you, mate.
Cheers, Daisy. Cheers, boys. Cheers, Mercy.
You're right, mate.
And, well, second time this season, you're standing on the top step of the rostrum. Jury Strat, welcome. Saudi Arabia, Tier 2 win. Must feel pretty good. From 11th on the grid.
Let's go, baby. Yeah, no, like, look, I was a bit disappointed to be knocked out in qualifying, but I wanted to commit to it, so didn't mind starting 11th. That was always good. The softs kind of dropped off really early for the guys. Early on, like I think from about lap 7, my mediums were quicker than those in front, so kind of plotting away, making the moves kind of happen, and then come in under the. Okay, I was coming in that lap anyway. Safety car came out right as I was entering the box. Like, this could not have come out at any better time. Had a couple of guys in front of me that then come into the box as well and show myself a P4 and made a couple of late little moves with the little free ride running that was really really fun to watch from the back seat in fourth. It was nice. But yeah, I'll tip my hat to Prince. I was a bit. I think the first word out of my mouth is not sayable on the stream. With what happened at the final quarter. Look, at the end of the day, I still got the dub. We raced hard, and what happened doesn't change anything. And at the end of the day, I still came out top. So you know, a bit late for a charge in the championship, but hey, might win 4 from 4, and we'll see.
Absolutely, anything is possible. You're going to need a bit of bad luck for these boys, and even on a night like tonight, the luck can fall the way of the championship leader. But very well done to you, mate. So P1 for Fury Straight this evening, and well, the man who lives in everyone's head rent-free, Nickman, driver of the day, voted by the Nickman fan club once again. Welcome to the Tier 2 commentary podium, and it could have been a podium without that penalty.
Yeah, I'm a bit upset with myself with the penalty. I've been pretty good all season without getting warnings and penalties, and one track I'm really good at, and I had to do it. I was really upset with myself, but I just tried to push as hard as possible to see if I could get up there and snag a podium, but Scotty was too fast in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. What could have been, but still P4 on your Tier 2 full-time debut. Pretty impressive, man, so well done.
Thank you for that.
Well, Mercy, let's wrap this baby up quickly. They've seen enough, they've heard enough. Let's let them go. It has been round 13. It's been an amazing, probably the best race, definitely the best race of Tier 2 this season. Probably of any of the tiers, it is going to be competing for that top spot. But, yeah, wow. We'll see you all tomorrow night for Tier 1 or Monaco next week. Alrighty, boys.
Deezy, you're a fucking gem for carrying me through that.
No, you're right, mate. You did it. You've done it for me. So, my voice, my voice in the final quarter, it cracked so hard, so hard.
I'll get to the line for him, and then he ran wide, and I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? And then he pinched us both in the wall. I'm like, oh, what the shit? And as soon as I felt the traction in there on the final corner, I just pumped DRS on, threw the DRS out, fucking go and hope for the best.
Yeah, it didn't look great. It looked fucking shit.
It feel great in the car, to be honest. Like, if I really wanted to play more funny buggers in the championship standings, I could probably
Oh, you cheeky bastard.
But at the end of the day, like, if I didn't get the dub, probably would have. But I beat him anyway, so I'm not going to beat him any further. Like, he's third in the chip. He's got to have a lot more races where M-Stone and Scotty finished not only behind him, but a little bit further behind him. I know I'm not in the fight, so...
Oh, fuck. Fiery, mate. Enjoy. Go snip that broadcast, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Holy fuck, man. Let's go.
Oh, I was so upset with myself with that penalty. Easy. I said on in my chat, I was like, at the moment Alpine of P4, 5 and 6.
Mate, when I saw Prince there with Nick Van Vine, I'm like, yeah, well, Prince is safe in his fucking position.
So much. Like, I had a 2-second gap, and as soon as he overtook me, I'm like, okay, cool. All the light flashing down the straight, I'm like, holy
Yeah, I mean, he had to do it. He had to do it to get away from the others and get you, or get to you.
Yeah, well, that's... As soon as I got past Stoney, then everyone kind of started battling, doing all the weird shit behind me. I was like, alright, well, I'm gonna just do my own thing, look after the tyres, keep comfy towards the end, and I'm just gonna vibe. Literally, my end of the race, like, I turned around to Kraken, I'm like, hey, do I up my pace? Like, the Prince is coming up. He's like, oh, just up it a little bit. I'm like, alright, up it a little bit. kept closing. I'm like, okay, cool, come up to me, and then he passed me. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna sit here, wait. Like, I was surprised he went for it that early, to be honest. Didn't think, I might have thought he might have been able to break me.
Yeah, I think he should have stayed behind, because you just sat behind, built up 4 years of ERS.
The second lap, I literally just sat there and I was like, alright, cool, like, started lap 24, alright. Down towards the end of sector 1, started sector 2. That's smart to keep us there. Alright, cool, we're just gonna stream him up all the way down. Alright, cool. Yeah, DRS, just to put him under pressure on the back straight, we'll turn it halfway. And front straight, didn't even bother turning it on. Throw it there, I'm like, not even gonna touch this. Let it happen. Lap 25, alright, cool. 90% ERS deployment, alright, sweet. Now's the opportunity. And, you know, a couple of the guys tried to play the ERS trick to open they bent themselves wide and left a massive gap.
Yeah, I saw that.
Trying to ERS. I think like Stoney tried to do it to me, and I watched him because I was sitting behind him after the. That's a nice space. I'm gonna just sit here, Stoney, and get a better exit than you and fly off into the. It just does not worry me at all. And yeah, him and Roscoe rubbing, doing all the rest of it.
That fucking restart, oh my god.
I'll tell you who really lost their fucking mind was Baby Deezy.
Oh. What was he doing on that fucking pit entry, man?
The way he came into the pits is fucked.
To be honest, I'm a bit of an instigator on that, but I've actually not done any because I'm fully entitled to send an overtake whenever I feel like whenever I have an overtake.
Yeah, but you know, if there's a car overlapping you when you're trying to enter the pit lane, you just can't go to the pit lane. Like you've got to wait. And he probably won't see that he's in the wrong because he just has this idea that he's always right.
Anyway, I'm gonna go and die in a hole. So I'll see you all later.
I love you, Moose.
Love you.